Hello. Well, the Halloween season is coming up. So I wanted to, last year I gave, a bunch of different, Halloween signs. And I'm going to show you several that happened around the same time. So first is Halloween. And you can do that two different ways. The first one that you already saw already was this way. And it depends on where you learned, really, or the region. It doesn't matter. But Halloween. So it's the mask, right? It's the mask. And then the second one is Halloween, where you've got it's a mask as well. Like, if you're covering up who you really are, and then you open it up to, this is the person that you really are. So that's mask as well. And so that can also have different connotations. This is specifically Halloween, but this can have different connotations, like masking yourself, or disguise, or a masquerade ball, or something like that. So you can do that with mask. So those are for Halloween. So what else happens around Halloween is the Mexican celebration, Day of the Dead, which I cannot say it in Spanish because I don't really know Spanish and I don't have the accent, but it is Day of the Dead. So that one's pretty simple because we are going to sign it in English, right? Because this is ASL and that's more English. If we were Mexico, we would sign it differently because they have a different sign language. They have Mexican Sign Language, or LSM, language sign Mexican. So you would do that Day of the Dead. And so remember, we have this. So your dominant hand, the palm is up, and your non-dominant hand is down. And it's like you're lifting that person and putting them over into a grave. You're flipping them over. So that's dead. Kind of like baptism, but this one is your hands are in different orientations from the beginning and the end. So it's not really hard. Your dominant hand, which is the hand you write with, the palm is up. And the one you do not write with, the palm is down. And then all you do is just turn them over. Now, if you were left-handed, it would be this way, right? You would start out this way and do this way. So, but if you're right-handed, you want everything to be consistent. So this is day. So this is the sign for day. It is like the sun, rising all day, and it goes to the end. So it's all day, right? So Day of the Dead. You can also do All Souls Day. So very English. We have our open B hand shape, the one that we write with, that is going to do the action. So the non-dominant hand, the one you do not write with, is kind of with the palm up. It's just kind of a backdrop in a sense. And so this one takes everything. It scoops it up. All. You're scooping everything up. All. And then souls. So we have both with our hands. I do with F hand shapes. Some people do not. Some people have this one as round one, but I learned, your non-dominant hand does nothing in ASL or does the same thing in ASL. So either one would be correct. You could start out because it's doing nothing, souls, or you could do both F hand shapes, because sometimes it's hard to remember to do two different hand shapes, right? So you could do either one. So you could do this way, where this is the soul. It's also ghost, but soul, spirit, it's all the same thing. So it doesn't have to have a necessarily negative connotation. It can be positive. It's still the same sign, so spirit. Or you can do with F hand shape, spirit. So either one, which you practice and see which one feels better or the easiest. And if you're talking at the same time and you figure out which one do I do, if it comes out with both F hand shapes, then you know, oh, that's the one that's really for me. Or you can do it differently. It doesn't really matter. It's the same sign. It's not changing anything. So All Souls Day. All Souls Day. So we've already got the day down. So you're just scooping everything up. Also, another one, I believe it's a Catholic celebration. You take your hands together and you're woo, right? Like you have something that you wave in your hand, right? Celebration. They do All Saints Day. So we've got all already. And then we do saints, which is an S hand shape. And you could start to your right and go to your left, or you can go to your left and go to your right, whichever is more comfortable for you. Now, I was ambidextrous as a child, so there's some things that I still do with my left hand that's a little bit better. So sometimes I will start on the left where I see strong right-handed people do it on their right side. So it doesn't really change it in what's ever comfortable for you. So for saints, I start with my left and go to my right. But you may see people do from right to left. And it doesn't really matter. It's not changing. It doesn't look weird, and it's not changing the meaning. So that's the most important in ASL. So we're scooping it up. Saints Day. So and I don't think it's the same thing as All Souls Day, because All Saints Day, I think they celebrate like all the variety different of saints. It's a religious respect day or honor day. Day of the Dead is also a respect and that you honor your dead ancestors. So I'll go that a little bit more slowly. And same thing with All Souls Day. It's the same thing. So let's go with some other signs with that. So you could do tradition in two different ways, and I believe I've already shown those before, but let's do it again in this video. So tradition, you could do with a T hand shape and do this for like habit. This is habit. This is also tradition. It's like a habit, right? Traditional, habit, traditional. Or you could do traditional and where it's things that are handed down. So that's when we are, they're both kind of a flat B hand shape. And you're going to just start rolling it forward. It's like it starts way back here and then it's going forward. So that's tradition. So ancestors I did a G hand shape, which you could do that for generations or genes or anything like that. You don't do A for ancestors. I do G. And then, like if you did generations going forward, right? You could do my ancestors. But if you did ancestors, you would start here and do ancestors. I do ancestral work. So generations forward or generations back. So ancestors. This could be also ancestors, but you could also do it this way. Like I said, it's your style and what you feel comfortable or what you see deaf people around you doing or in that region. So you can do, but this is more traditions because things that's handed down, like, recipes for Christmas or Thanksgiving. Those are traditions or, things that are handed down. That's why you're holding a piece of paper. Right? That's why you have that handshake. You're holding a piece of paper or you're holding that tradition in your hand. It is passing down from this generation and then that generation, this generation, that generation. Ancestor, you're going backwards to way in the past. And so you can't go way back there, so that's why you do it several times. And you may get back to your ear. And so that's a lot of generations back for ancestral work. So that's what Day of the Dead does, is their ancestors. You could also do forefathers the same way because it's ancestral, right? Or forefathers necessarily doesn't mean in your family, but it's forefathers like the forefathers of our Constitution or the forefathers of certain way of doing something, like a medical procedure or something like that, the forefather of this or the father of, that. So, but that's ancestral work. It's, you could even do it for forefathers because many of us are related to the people who, fought for the United States, the signers of the Declaration of Independence. We'll do that later on the 4th of July. So another sign that we can do is cemetery, and that's used for Day of the Dead as well, because they go to the cemetery. So cemetery. So we're going to, and I've done this before too, so we take our cupped B hand shapes and we're going to make a grave, like a fresh grave. It's going to have the dirt that's on top. So that would be cemetery. And even you could even do, this could be a grave, one grave, or you could do cemetery, like grave area. this could be one singular. We could go, oh, all the graves there that my family, we go there, or a cemetery plot. Cemetery plot. So, like, there's one cemetery that has, and it's my family plot. So you would say, oh, my family plot, or my family cemetery. And of course, we already did ghost, but that's more for Halloween. You could do ghost, you could do skeleton, like I said. So type in like Halloween, and it'll show you the signs that I did last year for Halloween. But so there's, just a variety. We did trick or treat, T for trick or treat, or candy please, or whatever. So there's a variety of things that you can do. Like I said, I always see what the deaf are doing. Like, I lived in another city for 25 years, and so I use those signs that they use, and I moved to a different place, and so they may have different signs, and that's okay. So I'm going to use them when I see them using that, or I see a sign that I maybe know what that sign is, but I don't use it. I go, oh, they use it in this area, so I'm going to use that one. Okay, what other popped into my head while I was saying all that? Was that, oh, celebration. We already did that. Celebration. And so they honor, they show respect. Sometimes they tell funny stories. And they honor or bless the community. They may not bless it, but sometimes they'll say like prayers. So sometimes it may be a blessing on the future generations. It may be, praying for the ancestors. So prayer is used a lot in Day of the Dead. Okay, so I think that's it for those few things that we'll be celebrating soon. And so I hope you practice with your hearing and your deaf friends and try to communicate with them. And it's just fun sometimes. And then you can ask them. I mean, if you fingerspell, you can ask them what sign they use for, and you can tell them. And they'll show you. They'll be happy to do that. So anyway, I will see y'all later. Bye.